on a freaking Tuesday. How is everybody doing tonight? Let's talk about this damn basketball game tonight. Knicks defeat the Spurs 124-113 to win the in-season tournament. The third team to ever do it, joining the Lakers and Milwaukee. Let's look at the stats here tonight, man. For the Spurs, Wembanyama, once again, I think he came off the bench. 18 points. Not as effective this time. Wembanyama was not as effective. Darren Fox, 16 points. Stephen Castle, 15 points. Harrison Barnes, 11 points. So, yeah, they didn't do what they did. A lot of these guys, I think they had like 3 or 4 guys score like 23 on Saturday versus Oklahoma. Not as much tonight. In fact, nobody even outside of Dylan Harper, 21. That was their highest score. So yeah, man, Wembanyama, Stephen Castle, and De'Aaron Fox were nowhere as effective if they only score 18, 15, and 16. Yeah, man, the Knicks, man, it was very similar to the game on Saturday versus the Magic, where they were kind of going back and forth for about 3 quarters. And same thing, once that fourth quarter came, they took over the game, man. Knicks seem to be doing that this year, man. They sure they're one of the best teams in basketball, man. They play around with 3 quarters and then they take over the game in the fourth quarter, man. Karl Anthony Towns, 16 points, 11 rebounds. OG Anunoby, 28 points. Josh Hart, 11 points. Mikal Bridges, 11 points. Jalen Brunson, 25 points. Tyler Kolek, 14 points. This is a nice addition. Jordan Clarkson, man, off the bench with 15. That's a nice addition for the Knicks. But yeah, man, same thing, OG Anunoby had a really good game with 28. But, I think Bronson had 39. He only had 25 tonight. Mikal Bridges, 11. Karl Towns, 16. Really, I guess Jalen Brunson had 25 and OG Anunoby had 28. So I guess they had really good games. But nobody had 30 points from either side. The highest score in the game was OG Anunoby with 28. Everybody else was in the 20s or less than that. So, but the Knicks, man, 124-113. They are the in-season tournament champions. We'll see how the standings goes. But if the Knicks were to win the Eastern Conference by 1 game, it could, because instead of playing 82, they got to play 83. Right? That could be a little bit of the motivation by playing this game, that you can have an extra win on your record. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. Let's talk some freaking what do we got? Baseball. There's really not much in baseball, to be honest. NFL. Not a lot of news today, ladies and gentlemen. Not a lot of news today on a Tuesday, to be honest. Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's really not, man. I think Arch Manning said he's I think what they say that Tanga Baloy might get benched. Coach Mike McDaniels is thinking about making a quarterback change to maybe Quinn Ewers. That's what a lot of people are saying, that he might make the change because Tanga Baloy is really struggling. And then I guess Arch Manning announced he's for sure coming back for college next year, which I believe will be his senior year. Yeah, he really needs to. Obviously, he didn't look that good, especially the first few weeks. So Arch Manning announces he's come back for his senior year at Texas. And that's really about it, I think. I think there was something with the streamer, Aiden Ross, how he was streaming with the Rams, Puka Nacua, and they tried to get into the facility, and Sean McVay and the Rams security didn't let him, because obviously they have a game in a few nights versus Seattle. So that was a little bit of drama, I guess. Aiden Ross was trying to stream inside the Rams facility. Like, what the fuck? What else happened? Wrestling news. Mick Foley has announced he is finished with the WWE. He decided to no longer work with them. And so Mick Foley, who I don't even remember when was the last time we saw Mick Foley on WWE, but he has decided that for at least for now he will no longer be working with WWE. We'll see what happens in the future. What else happened? I think there was a mistake on NXT tonight where Blake Monroe ended up losing her North America champion. She was supposed to win, but the referee messed up the pin. It was supposed to be a kick out, and I guess the referee counted too fast, and he counted 3. You could tell, too, they all look very confused, all 3 of them. The girls and the referee look confused. The match was over, and they actually started playing Blake Monroe's music. You knew that the plan was for her to retain, but they had no choice to award the championship to Thailand, I believe her name is. And so, but you could tell they messed it up, man. And that's the thing with NXT, right? I believe the referees are also like trying to learn how to become referees to eventually get called up to the main roster. So that's the everybody's trying to learn, man. And even the refs are gonna make mistakes. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens because Blake Monroe is a veteran. She wrestled in like the big leagues, and like she was part of New Japan, I believe, or Stardom, one of those big Japanese wrestling companies. And then she wrestled in AEW for like 3 years. So she doesn't really need this. She doesn't really need to go through the minor league system in WWE. You could throw her like she would probably help SmackDown, honestly, right now. Especially if I was Shawn Michaels and Triple H, I would be like, you know what? Let's maybe have her debut in the Royal Rumble and then have her go to SmackDown, right? I think this was around the time a few years ago when Tiffany Stratton debuted, right, in the Royal Rumble, and then she stayed on the main roster on SmackDown. They might have to do the same thing with Blake Monroe, man. I bet you she's really frustrated with the referee and everybody. But she's probably a little bit ahead of everybody else when it comes to developing because she, like I said, she wrestled in big crowds in Japan and then also in like England and then also here in the United States when she was in AEW. So probably frustrated with the whole situation as Blake Monroe. I wouldn't be surprised if she had a talk, which she probably got pissed off backstage and they just say, you know what? She's too much of a veteran to be here. Let's just send her to the main roster maybe in January for the Royal Rumble. We'll see what happens. But I think that's it. Let me think if there's any more chicken nuggets. Not a lot of news today, really, honestly. Not a lot of news here tonight on a yeah, I think that's it, honestly. Yeah, not a lot of news. Yeah, guys, I'm trying to think, but I don't see much news. And there was only one basketball game tonight, right? The championship game for the instant tournament between San Antonio and New York. Nothing else was on tonight, so yeah, there's really not much else to talk about here tonight on a Tuesday night, ladies and gentlemen. I do want to say something. Some of you have been asking what's going on with the channel, guys. I am taking a break from streaming. I lost interest in it. I think the schedule is terrible right now. I cannot find a day in my time to stream, and I'm not gonna stream at 3 in the morning. I don't think people are gonna come in, obviously. So I am for now. We're doing this, little 10-15 minute video, and then that's it. At the moment, I do not have a streaming. Like I just cannot find a time. I know Crystal talked about maybe doing once a week. I might try to, but maybe not right now. I gotta figure out. I think I gotta get a little bit more hungrier for it. Right now, I'm kind of happy doing this. When I probably will be a little bit more interested in doing streaming in the future, but for now, I'm just gonna be doing this. In the future, maybe sometime as the new year starts, I'll go back to streaming at least once a week. Maybe it's easier to find a time or earlier time once a week than every day, right? So I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to brainstorm in my head when I will go back. I think I'm targeting possibly Thursdays, but I'm not ready right now. I'm not that motivated to stream. But maybe in the future, maybe once a week on Thursdays, I will stream. Maybe in the future, something happens where I'm interested again. But right now, I'm not too interested in it. But that's why I'm doing this. I'm just doing this little format right here. In the future, I'll figure something out. But maybe I'll do once a week, but not right now. I'm probably not ready right now. It's too fresh. I just got off streaming like what, 3 weeks ago, however as long it's been. I'm not ready to go back to streaming right now. Maybe in the future. I hope you guys respect my decision. But if maybe we can do Q&A. I don't know, and I can answer questions in the comment section if you guys want. That's that's all I got for you guys right now. I'm sorry. I'm taking a mental break from streaming at the moment. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, but I will be back eventually, probably. But at least once a week. But anyways, that is all I have to say for tonight on a Tuesday night, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back tomorrow. Holla, 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 holla.